Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. It's your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief, APGAINS here, and we are joined by Nev. You're going to break down some stuff that's a little bit peculiar, a little bit diabolical by Capital Games, and maybe a little bit nefarious, I would say. Conquest is back. They fixed Sector 1. Apparently Sector 1 was a carbon copy, and they were like, oh no, we have to get on our one computer and fix it. And would you like to tell the nice viewers what they fixed and how it became worse?
Well, look, see, Sector 1 was probably the easiest sector from Conquest 7 because you could do it with one team.
Yeah.
And they've changed it. Now, technically, you can still do it with one team. It's just not as, strong as the previous team.
Yeah.
So the way that you did it before was you went in with JML, JKL, and JKR, and then you went in with GMY, and you went in with Ezra. And that team allowed you to get all of the feats for Sector 1 slowly but surely as you progressed through it. Now, you needed GMY because one of the feats was potency down a certain number of times, and you threw Ezra in there because you wanted to get, 30 kills with Phoenix Squad. Well, they've removed the potency down feat, and they've replaced it with 10 battles that must be done with no supports in the team. Which is still doable, but because GMY is a support, you've got to take him out and replace it with someone that isn't a support. Like, I think I used Old Ben.
Yeah.
So I just went with a straightforward tank. But it's creating the need for more battles.
Yeah.
As opposed to you would just do every battle with GMY and you would eventually get that feat.
See, this is what I'm thinking. You know how, they removed Zombie because we were farming feats on Zombie because you could get like a bajillion kills. I think they finally cracked down on the last remnants of possible efficiency in, using the same team over and over again for Sector 1. I think they finally cracked down and said, you know what, boys? You had one surviving Jedi and they're all gone. Now we're going to... Old Ben is dead and we have to become the Luke Skywalker, the farm boy Luke, and figure out what to do here because I don't see any other options. I want you to break something down that you talked about before we started filming this video. How a couple of changes that CG made, i.e. adding Executor and stuff like that, has negatively affected you as a free-to-play player in Conquest, and how you kind of don't care about Conquest because of some of their changes. Can you break that down, what you told me earlier?
Yeah, sure. Well, basically, the guild that I was in, my main account was in an ANZGC guild. Now, that is a massive alliance, and it goes all the way up to the 330-odd million mark, all the way down to the 170 million mark. The guild that I was in hadn't quite cracked Crown 4 yet, but I wasn't that fussed because I was getting Relic 8 materials from Conquest.
Exactly.
So, slowly but surely, I was crawling my way, and I was, when I started hitting that box 6, the reward box 6, I was like, you know what, I'm happy. I'm hitting reward box 6. Yeah, sure, it took a little bit of grind, but it was still fun. It was enjoyable, and I was getting those Relic 8 materials. Then they said then they brought the changes in for Conquest 7, and I knew after doing Sector 1, Sector 2, and Sector 3 that I was not going to hit box 6. I just knew I wasn't going to hit it.
Without refreshes, right?
I mean, I stopped doing refreshes after I counted how many crystals I'd spent on refreshes just on Sector 1 and Sector 2 during the first 3 days, and I'd spent 400 crystals, and I'm like, I spent 400 crystals, and I'm not even at, I wasn't even at box 3 at that point. So I've stumped up 400 crystals, and I'm not even at reward crate 3.
That's expensive.
At that point, I was like, expensive.
Because you have other crystal expenditure. You have other things that you gotta, like you said earlier, Cantina refreshes for all this, 3 energy refreshes, and you made a great point about Executor, how it's depleting you. Can you go into that a little bit?
This is why one of the things. This is why it's really, really kind of Conquest has really, really kind of screwed things up from a free-to-play point of view. Now, my free-to-play experience prior to the Executor was quite simple and straightforward. I'm not as good in Squad Arena. I'm a top 50 Squad Arena person. So I usually finish between 50 and
Yeah.
I can't quite hit the top point. So I'm always going to be in there, which means I'm only ever going to make 150 crystals in Squad Arena. But I was always getting number 1, or number 2, or number 3 in Fleet Arena. So I was either making 400, 475, or 450. So my crystal income every single day was between 500, 550. The Executor comes along, and it wasn't too much of a problem because only one person had it. But since the second time it's come out, there are now 7 Executors in my shard. It is now impossible for me to make the top 5, so I am a rank 6 to 10, which is only 200 crystals. So my income, my crystal income as free to play, has gone from 550 to 350, which is just...
Which is not enough for Conquest, because you need, what, 450 crystals?
It's not enough for Conquest. When you take into consideration a person's normal daily farming habits, you're going to do your 350s on your energy farm. If you are playing the game the way that I play the game, you're going to do 350s on mod energy so that you can farm for mods, because, you know, mods are king in this game. So there's 300 crystals, and then 100 on Cantina energy, so that you can do, like, you know, a little bit of extra farming for
relics and stuff like that.
That's 400 crystals. Now, I can't even do that because I'm only making 350. Yeah, sure, you get a handful of crystals from doing your dailies, but it's not a huge amount.
So
it's not a huge amount.
The problem here, it's coming in because there was a balance, there was an ecosystem where even free to play, you could still, you know, hang on. You were 50 to 20 in Squad Arena, so you're still getting beat out by those pay-to-play players. You know, you could finagle your way around because the fleet meta was pretty balanced for pay-to-play and free-to-play if you've been playing long enough, so you could climb up in fleets. And you had a nice little niche where you could do your daily farms and enjoy and participate in the refreshes required for Conquest. And then because of all of these, like, compounding changes, it's kind of like squeezing you out of that position you used to be in, where you used to be able to survive and be a real player, and now you're kind of... You know, a lot of people say second class. I'm worried too. I'm in the same situation because I don't get top 50 in Squad Arena, and Executor just came back around, and there's a bunch more in my Fleet Arena now. So I'm you like 6 months in the past. Like, I'm going to become you very soon, and it scares me. Yeah,
I mean, here's the thing. One of the solutions to my Relic 8 problem, which is the issue that I was able to come up with an immediate solution for. I'm not going to get Conquest Reward Box 6, so I need to get Relic 8 materials from somewhere else. So I found a guild doing the Crown Call. So as much as it pained me to leave my guild, I had to.
Yeah.
I had to leave my guild and find a guild doing the Crown Call. So now my Relic 8 materials will come from doing the Crown Call raid in a guild that does it. So I no longer care about the rewards I'm going to get from Conquest. And since I don't care about the rewards I'm getting from Conquest, and I do not have a crystal income sufficiently high enough to buy refreshes, I no longer care about Conquest. I just don't. I'm going to do Conquest Ace refreshed.
Refreshless,
so
yeah.
As soon as
quite parched.
My energy, yes. So if my energy, as soon as my energy refreshes and I can go in and do a couple of battles, I'll go in and I'll do a couple of battles. We'll see how far I get and what reward crate a free-to-play player with a 5.7 million account that has a GL that has got all the Relic Gucci teams. You know, I've got the Gas team, I've got the Darth Revan team, I've got
all the toys,
the CLS team, I've got I've got some really, really good squads. I've got Imperial Troopers, which is only at Gear 11, but oh my god, do they pound Relic 7 teams into the ground until they hit a certain stamina.
Yeah.
So
that's the stamina elephant in the room.
Exactly, yeah. We'll see how far I get. I really, really am interested in how far I get so that I can at least go back to CG and say somebody that is free to play in this game is never going to fully enjoy Conquest if they make because we are in a unique position where we know enough about the game and we know enough about how to play the game that we can get some modicum of a respectable finish in Squad Arena and Fleet Arena.
Yeah.
there are not people that, there are average gamers that do not know how to do that, and they'll be languishing in the hundreds in squad arena, maybe making 50 or 60 crystals a day, and there'll be people finishing outside the top 20 of fleet arena, maybe even outside the top 50. So their crystal income as a free-to-play player could be as little as 100 crystals.
Which is not enough to be a real player in this game, because so much is required in terms of refreshes.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you think we're getting to a point where that refresh kind of culture that we have, where we get some mods and some energy, and maybe we get some cantina, or maybe we do a couple, do you think that's just no longer exists? We're going to have to play the game completely differently? Like, we're going to have to farm mod energy one day and do regular energy refreshes another day? Are we going to have to ration some crazy wartime strategy? Or do you think there's some sort of potential fix on the horizon with, something?
Well, here's the thing. It really, really does depend entirely on how you want to play the game.
Yeah.
I am super competitive and I love GAC. The only reason I continue to play this game as much as I do is because of GAC. I like that PvP element. I really, really enjoy it.
It's basically the whole game.
In order to do well, I need a deep and good, a good roster, and I need mods.
Yeah.
Which is why I spend 150 crystals every single day on farming mods. Because you can farm 100 mods and only get one good one.
Yeah.
On a good day, you might get 3. But of those 3 that show speed, will they all roll speed? Probably not.
Probably not.
So it's not a case of rolling. You've got to roll 100 mods just to find a few that have got speed, and then you've got to keep your fingers crossed that speed rolls when you slice it. So it takes a lot of crystal refreshes and a lot of buying mods to get yourself to it. And I am by no means one of the better people with mods, and I've been playing for I've been playing since day one. But I've only really been taking mods seriously for the last 2-3 years. 3. Well, the last 3 years maybe. When mods first came out, they were broken.
Yeah.
They were really, really broken. So, but that's beside the point. So I'm completely having to change how I play the game, so that I can still remain competitive in Grand Arena Championship. Now, I could sacrifice those crystals that I spend on farming for mods, and I could use them all for refreshes, so that I could do well in
Conquest.
So I could do well in Conquest. But if all I'm going to do is get box 4, I'm not going to get a box that's got relic materials in it. Why would I waste hundreds of crystals every single day refreshing energy for a game mode that lasts 14 days, and at the end of it, I'm not going to get any relic materials?
Or any of the broken characters that you actually want from Conquest, who could,
exactly.
who could elevate you one day potentially into that spot where you get some squad arena. So you're kind of gate kept on every front. You can't improve your crystal income because you can't get to the point where you can improve your crystal income because you don't have the crystal income.
It's a double-edged sword. I want to invest. I mean, I'm currently just finishing off my cam mission clone troopers.
Yeah.
I wanted to, so I've got the Arc Trooper at 12. He's about to go gear 30. As soon as I've taken him to Relic 3, that is it, done. I've taken the entire cam mission squad to Relic 3. I've been working on their mods, but from a gearing point of view, I'm not going to take them beyond the Relic 3 until I've tried the cam mission with good mods. If my mods aren't good enough, then I'll roll them up from 3 to 5.
Yeah.
But as soon as I finished doing that, I was planning on moving straight on to gearing the characters for the Executor, which I kind of feel I'm going to need to do now, because even though there are a lot of counters out there at the moment,
you don't have infinite amounts of time and refreshes to try and do the RNG to beat them.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
another time sink.
I've seen one that does look kind of good. It does look reliable. I've seen it done by several people, and that is the Negotiator. the Negotiator one with, and that's the starting lineup of Suffolk, Ahsoka, and Anakin. So I have seen this one. It does look good, but, and it's a very important but, it's a counter that requires all of the characters that are in that starting lineup to Relic 7.
Which you don't necessarily have the resources to do, because you have to relic your clone trooper. This is not a double-edged sword. This is like a circular blade that we're just like rolling like a, you know, an abused hamster inside of.
So this evening, when I do my when it comes to my fleet arena this evening, which my arena hour climb doesn't start until 10 and finishes at 11. So when I hit the top 10 and I see the battles against the, I'm going to give these two teams a try, see how RNG dependent they are, and if I'm successful with because my Anakin and Ahsoka are gear 11 and my Sunfak is gear 12. And the tactics of the counter are heavily dependent on you getting all your reinforcements out, because what is unavoidable with this counter is the executive getting off his ultimate. So you're going to lose your capital ship.
Yeah.
So you need to get 5 ships on the board and the Houndstooth down before the executive takes your ship out. So
which is a tall task.
Which is a tall ask. So I'm going to give that a try. I'm going to give that a try and see if that happens. And if it does, then I'll worry less about the executor than than I currently am. But I will say one more thing about Conquest, and that is that the whole purpose of making payments in mobile games is
to skip time. Yep.
It's to skip time and it's to speed it up, right? And what they've done with Conquest is they haven't done that. There are whales and krakens right now, as we speak, paying people to do Conquest for them because they do not have the time to do it.
Well, they already have knighthoods, so they have the good old Loki.
It's completely and utterly bonkers.
It's so stupid.
It's thousands and thousands of dollars, right, that is going to other people, not the game, to make the time sink less for those wealthier, for those wealthier competitors, those wealthier players. Yeah. The whole point of in-game purchases is
to skip the time.
That. But there is no in-game purchase to avoid that because they've made it deliberately grindy even for whales and the krakens. The only thing that they can do to go through it quickly is crystal refresh on top of crystal refresh on top of crystal refresh or crystal refresh. But here's the kicker. Yeah, sure, that means they don't have to wait for energy to refresh, but they've still got to spend hours at a time going through a game mode. And that's not what a whale or a kraken wants to. They don't want to wait. It's like, new character comes out. Do I want to wait 6 months to farm it, or do I want to pay $300 and max it out in one day? And that's what they do. They pay $300 and they max out that marquee character in one day, and they don't do what the free to play or the dolphin or the minnow does, spending 3 months farming it and grinding it, and they don't want to wait.
Yeah.
So, and they've done this mode, and everybody has to wait. It's like they've made something that is equally time consuming, no matter what your level of purchase or non-purchase is in the game.
But you can pay for more.
Exactly. If you've got a nest egg of crystals, you don't need to you can do it without a GL.
Yeah.
You can do it without a GL if you've got the crystals. Make the purchases in it, but you've still got to spend the exact same amount of time playing the game. So yeah, sure. So you could play for an hour, or you can play for 30 minutes, not do any refreshes, stop and go off. But when you come back, you're starting at the exact same point, whether you've spent crystals or not. So to progress, you've still got to spend the exact same amount of time in the game in order to progress through the sectors. There is no in-game purchase that allows whales and krakens to skip through the sectors. Everybody's got to play it. Everyone's got same amount of time in the game.
Well, that's until level 90 comes out, and then you get to Sim Conquest. But you have to pay for level 90.
I don't. It's one thing I don't. That is one thing I don't think they'll ever do.
I don't think that ever will. It would destroy the game. It would be so broken. All right, man. Thank you so much for talking about. What's up?
Yeah. Can you imagine it costs?
Oh yeah. Well, I was gonna make a joke when you were talking about mods. I was like, just wait till they drop the guaranteed 25 speed mods that are $25 each.
Oh, that would kill the game.
It would kill the game, but man, they would make a butt ton of money in like 24 hours.
Oh my, yeah, they would. They would make that.
That's a great like going Bon Voyage gift. Just like, hey, let's just sell our souls and then delete the game and upload SWGOH too. All right, Nev, thank you so much for being on. Oh, one more thing. Let's go. You're on fire. Go for it.
I was going to say the wives' tale that was spoken of for so long during like the first during that 2, 3, 4 year period in the game was, we always said if they ever drop a Jedi Knight Luke in the game, the end. That's the end of it. And then we got a Jedi Knight Luke. So now I'm one of the people that says if they ever do a Mace Windu rework,
it's over.
That's gonna be the end. Okay.
Hey, I've been saying General Mace Windu, Jedi General Mace Windu. He's just gas, but with a purple lightsaber. He gets cam. They can use all the terrible Galactic Republic Jedi. They finally have a home. Capital Games. Yeah. I'd pay for that. I'd pay for it.
It would work.
Rambam would certainly be happy, and we could maybe get him to shut up a little bit. He'd be like, "Oh my God, it's so meta. It's so meta."
He wouldn't stop playing. He wouldn't stop playing with himself. He would get very, very, very inappropriate with that Mace Windu.
Oh yeah, he would. The amount of times that character would be spun in the holo table is a little bit disgraceful.
He would just he'd buy it, max it out, and then he would just sit there and drool at it.
Start licking
like
his phone.
Looking at a plate of pork chops, it'd just be
Yeah. Oh man, Rambam, he's got some problems, but you know, hopefully he's getting over them. Hopefully he's recovering from his Mace Windu addiction. All right. We're going to head out of here. Thank you so much for being on. I will post links to all of your stuff. You guys want to check them out. GA Center, all of the stuff, everything. It will all be there. It will be detailed. It will be organized. You can go down there. You say, hey, I kind of like this Nev guy. Let's see kind of what he's into. Oh, look, APGAINS nicely laid out all of the things that he's ever done, including your high school graduation picture. That will definitely be there in the comments section, in the description. Thank you so much for being on, guys. As always, we love you, and we'll see you later.